Question: would you board a plane if the pilot has not done a pre-flight check? Probably not.
No.
And that's what we're going to talk about on the Furlo Capital Real Estate Podcast, where we dive into the intricacies of passive real estate investing, and in this case, piloting. Yes. And our mission is to equip people to invest wisely in both properties and people so that together we can invest wisely while improving housing. I'm James. I'm trying to ignore our dog who is chewing on something he shouldn't be. And you are Jesse.
Perfect. You know, puppies are puppies.
Puppies are puppies.
That kind of reminds me, our kids like to watch videos of themselves when they were super little, like our puppy, because they did ridiculous things. And it was like, why did I ever do that? Because you were little and you had no idea. And now, years later, it's hilarious. In the moment, it was like, oh my gosh. Can you please stop?
Gosh. Yes. Why are you chewing that Post-it?
Right?
How did that Post-it get there?
How did that Post-it get there? Why are you eating that?
Maybe you found his Kong, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
So big news-ish. I officially have my pilot license for flying unmanned vehicles.
Amazing. Flying unmanned vehicles.
Yeah.
It's like that's fine print.
Yeah. I got my drone pilot's license.
Very cool.
UAS. But
so what does that mean exactly?
I can fly
You're licensed
drones.
to
fly drones.
not kill.
Commercially. So previously, you can fly a drone just for fun.
Oh.
But now I can do it for pay, not for pay, for other people, that kind of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. I did it for a couple of reasons. Number one, I have a drone, and I found that I was using it for my real estate business. So I was like, all right, I should probably be legal. So now I am.
Yeah.
Which is good. And I guess technically I could do it for other people and get paid to do it. That is not my intent.
Yeah, that's not really
at all
what you want to do.
I don't even intend to advertise it as part of my business. Like when I get a new property management client, part of what I want to do is go take photos of the place and give it to them. Like, hey, this is super awesome. I got pictures of the roof and your overall building. But I'm not going to tell them that. I mean, unless you want to listen to this, then you'll know. But that's just one of those, like, I want to have like a little surprise, for them joining me that I don't really talk about. They go, oh, yeah,
cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And just a little something.
Would you say primarily you're taking the drone shots as like, oh, that's a really cool picture, or more of like, I can see things that I can't see from the ground?
Ideally, get both.
Both.
Ideally, it is a cool shot that they've never seen.
Right, that bird's eye view is like, whoa, neat.
Yeah, because it is genuinely cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, hey, we can look at the roof and look at other systems that
without having to climb up there and
don't get a good
poke around,
get a good view of. Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. But I would say first and foremost, is get the cool shot.
That's number one.
Yeah. What'd you say? Whatever. But yeah, so part of the class is you learn all sorts of stuff. Like you learn about, you learn about weather. You learn about how to read aeronautical maps, which is genuinely cool. You learn about radio communication. You learn about how lift and other stuff works.
The physics of flying.
Yeah. And then the last part of it is what they call aeronautical decision making, ADM. And it's this process that pilots go through for, it's like they systemize the process. And pilots are like big time in the checklist. Like that's a thing, which is great. And it just avoids them from missing stuff, which I'm like, oh man, I love checklists. I'd be a great pilot. And so one of them though is called PAVE. And it is a process. It is essentially a pre-flight checklist to avoid future problems.
Okay.
And as I'm learning this for the drone stuff, I was like, dude, this is applicable to real estate. So I want to go through the PAVE acronym, which I creatively titled this one, Pave Your Way to Better Returns with a Smarter Investing Framework.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And so PAVE. And you're going to find that there's lists within lists. And on one of the letters, I feel like they cheated. But that's okay.
It's like the E at the end of the word.
Yeah. So the very first letter is a P, obviously, which stands for Pilot in Command, or the PIC, as the cool kids say.
Oh.
And this is the person, as the name would suggest, they're flying the drone.
Yeah.
They're in charge. They're in command.
In command.
Yes. And I think the equivalent is you, the investor, the person putting in the money, not the
Yeah.
sponsor, but like you
So you
as the passive
okay?
investor
You would call the investor the pick.
of your own investments.
Okay,
Right.
because you're the one in control of your own monies,
Mm-hmm.
deciding where they go, who you give them to.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Got it.
Because one of the things they really make important that they emphasize in the class
Mm-hmm.
is that the pilot in command, like the buck stops with them. They are the
Ooh,
ultimate
okay.
decision maker. Like you can have someone else who's like, hey, you need to do this and that. Like,
Interesting.
nope, it's the pick. They're in charge. They
Yeah.
hold responsibility. And I think that's true with like your own funds. Like you're responsible for making
Yeah.
the investment decisions and deciding where it goes.
I mean, that's a good
Now-
point because I kind of feel like people would, on some level, be like, well, it's the sponsor. It's the sponsor whose deal it is. You know, what do I
Right.
know? But really, it's like, no, this is your money. You can say yes or no,
Right.
and you should know what you're saying yes to.
Yeah. And once you make the investment, you're the equivalent of up in the air and you gotta go.
Ugh.
Now, I thought this was interesting. They have what's called another acronym within this. It's a big one. It's called
Acronym within an acronym.
I know. This is called the I Am Safe checklist. They love their checklists. I'm going to try to run through it. I had to memorize this for the test.
This sounds like something like a kindergartner would do.
Fair enough.
Safety school.
I think they have a on Amazon's web services, AWS, their login stuff. It's just called I Am service. So it's kind of an that's what always makes me think of. Anyways, I am safe. Number one, illness is the I. You know, they're like, if you're sick, don't fly. It's kind of their whole thing. I know you would think that should be obvious, but whatever. So for you, it's saying, are you financially healthy? Are you in a place where like you can make the investment? M, medication is what that stands for. Again, if you're taking some sort of, make you sleepy decongestant, like you shouldn't be flying.
Yes.
Again,
That makes
it's
sense.
for pilots. So the question is like, are you under any external influences, either emotional or relational, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah. That would influence your decision-making
the I am.
skills.
So part of the S for safe is stress, right? If you're under stress, you shouldn't fly.
Yeah.
Are you investing out of fear or FOMOs, right? Or are you just stressed in general in life where you're like, man, I don't have time for this, like just whatever. Like, alcohol. The phrase that they use is 8 hours bottle to throttle.
That's funny.
Yeah. So you're, metaphorically, right? Are your decisions impaired somehow?
Sure.
Maybe you're investing with a friend
Yeah.
or a relative.
Yeah. You're not
It's just
thinking
not
clearly.
necessarily no, but you just want to you want to be able to acknowledge that that's happening.
Sure.
F stands for fatigue.
Mm.
Are you mentally exhausted and shortcutting due diligence?
Interesting. I mean, I could totally see that. Not necessarily like bodily fatigue, but if you're like financially fatigued and you're like, I gotta do a deal. I just gotta do something.
Okay,
I
it's
don't
burn a
know.
hole in your pocket.
Yeah, you're
totally.
like, ooh, not
Yeah.
good.
The E stands for eating.
You should eat.
Yeah. Are your basic financial disciplines in order? It's kind of how I decided to. I don't know, man. I'm making a stretch.
Or does your sponsor take you out to dinner? No, I don't know.
That'd be sweet. I have a side thing about that, but I'm not gonna go down it. But essentially, what you're trying to ask is, are you in a good place to make this investment? That's what you're trying to ask, and this checklist kind of helps you think through the different aspects of your life.
That makes sense.
Is kind of what you're trying to do. Like,
Right.
is there anything here that would be impairing my judgment or forcing me to go faster than I want to? Or, am I just not in a place where I'm actually ready to do this right now?
That's actually a great analogy because I think
I know. That's why I chose it.
if you're doing something physical, it's easy to identify like, am I in the right state to do this thing? It reminds me of the motorcycle training we did where it's like, okay, like this is a risky thing you are stepping into.
Yeah.
Are you mentally aware? Are you physically aware? Have you eaten?
Right.
Are you like,
If you're overly tired or stressed,
do not do this.
Don't
Yeah.
drive.
This is
don't
not
ride.
good. So it's like, that's easy to wrap our heads around. It's like, well, duh. If you were super tired, you definitely wouldn't get in a plane and fly it or hop on a motorcycle. So it's like, okay, yeah, if you weren't financially healthy, you wouldn't do this investment.
Right. Financially, mentally, whatever.
Yeah, mentally, emotionally, yeah. So
exactly. So
totally
there you go.
makes sense.
That's the P, pilot in command. We pick. All right, A. Want to guess what that stands for? Bet you can figure it out. A.
Awesome.
Thinking. Nope. Think pilots, right? Like that's their
Air.
initial. You're halfway there. Aircraft. So aircraft is the second one, right? And so for us, I think it would be like the deal itself. It's kind of that equivalent thing.
Sure.
It's that vehicle that's getting you to where you want to, doing the thing you want to do.
Exactly.
So you just want to understand the fundamentals of the deal, right? Just in the same way you want to understand, is the aircraft in good working order? You know, all that fun stuff.
Are there wings on it?
Right. Does it have gas? When's the last maintenance?
Sure.
You know, are there the proper lighting and stuff on it? So you want to ask that same question, right? What's the business plan? Worst case scenario? Are you familiar with the asset class? Stuff like that. I also think it's really important, and this is important for aircraft, like you got to know what's its limitations, right? How much weight can it carry? Where is the center of gravity? Stuff like that. So you want to know things like the leverage ratio, exit strategy, market sensitivity. You want to know the big measures like IRR and cash on cash, average annual return, and like those kind of ratios.
Okay.
I think are important to know. And so you don't just go, hey, that's a nice looking pitch deck, right? Like you want to know the aircraft, the investment before.
So could that be like saying like you're not just looking at like the paint job on the aircraft.
Okay.
You're actually like checking the spark plug fuse. Do planes have spark plugs?
Sure. That sounds like a thing. They have engines have spark plugs.
I don't know. Engines or the controls or the lights or how everything is actually working and functioning.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good way to say it. Okay. Ready for the cheater for PAVE? You're never going to guess what this one is.
The V is, I don't have no idea. Velocity.
If it was me, I would have chosen the word vicinity.
Vicinity?
They did not. They chose environment.
What?
I told you it's cheating. I told you, man.
Environment.
Yeah. Sound like you're.
That's an E.
That sounds like Hermione. Environment.
I mean,
no, it sounds like Ron making fun of Hermione. Environment.
I mean, I kind of get it because you wanted to say PAVE, not pay.
No, I get it. Again, I would have chosen vicinity, but whatever. Yeah. So they talk about environment. I think that equals like the market. Right? That's kind of that equivalent, right?
Surroundings.
Yeah, something like good. The investment itself might look good, but what are the local market trends? Any economic indicators, any regulatory things, right? So you're looking at job growth, population trends, maybe some rent control, or landlord laws, stuff like that. Right?
Yeah, other things that might be affecting this investment.
Yep, exactly. So you want to think about the environment.
Sure.
And
like if there's a flock of birds in front of your aircraft.
Right.
What do you do about that?
Well,
it's like a side note.
I don't know. If there's too many birds, you actually shouldn't fly a drone is the rule because birds like to attack drones. So you don't do it. Yeah.
How do you know?
How do I know what? That birds like to attack drones?
No. How do you know if there's a bunch of birds? Like you just look up?
Yeah. It's actually, okay. So interesting. We'll go to
This is like a tangent. But
we'll side quest this for a little bit. They actually tell you when you're looking, what you do is you pick a spot and you look at it for like 2 to 3 seconds. And then you shift your gaze. And then you shift your gaze. And then you shift your gaze. Because what they talk about is you have to stare at a spot for a little bit to see movement. Because if all you're doing is a sweeping look, you'll never see the movement. And that's what you're looking for.
That's actually what they teach you in lifeguarding.
Oh.
Because if you're just sweeping, you could look over something really quickly. So it's like you look, you shift.
Yeah.
You shift and you're looking for distinct movement or lack of movement in that case. But
yeah, no, exactly. So, and again, for flying, it's like you're thinking weather type of stuff, and you're looking up all the apps to go, hey, is there rain coming? Is there fog? What's the cloud ceiling? Because there's certain rules on how close a drone can be to clouds. Are there other obstacles?
Right.
Wires. Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
That you need to be aware of, and so things like that. So yeah, again, you're just looking at the local market, trying to figure out like, does this investment. And I've told stories in the past on other episodes, and I'm assuming you've listened to every single one. But the
if you haven't, you can go back and listen.
Boom, yeah, they're all there. All however many 80 more of them. But I looked at this one investment that was in Ohio, and the investment itself, like, it was a cool idea. I mean, I saw the fact that it was a brand new contractor biting off a multi-million-dollar project. That was not cool. But my biggest concern was that they were taking us from like a C class to an A class in a B class area. I was like, I feel like you're overfixing this for the area. So you just want to take all that into account. That's V, environment.
Environment.
Oh, I know. The last one, E, stands for external pressures.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that either.
Yeah, I know, which is fine. And in the flying world, it's like, hey, are you working for a client who's like, you got to get this done today? Or you're just with friends, right? And they're like, do this cool loop-de-loop, which my drunk can too. But I don't know.
Higher.
Yeah. Just break the rules. It's fine. Whatever. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I think you can get those same type of external pressures when it comes to investing, like the sponsor, right? They're like, hey, let's do it.
We got to move now.
Deal. Right.
Yeah.
That could be one of them.
Yep.
Maybe there's end of year tax return or tax motivations that you're trying to get to. Maybe there is the peer pressure, like, hey, everyone else is doing it. Or I don't know why I wrote this. It's like the same one. A time-sensitive offer that requires a quick decision. And so again, you want to have kind of in order to mitigate this one, you want to have an investment policy. Like, here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I'm doing. And you just want to know your criteria and stick to them. So that's the PAVE. I thought I was like,
PAVE.
Again, I was like, I'm taking this class, learning it. I'm like, oh, dude.
This
like,
is super applicable to
this is great. What a
real
good,
estate,
simple checklist. Mine's like 8 different categories. They figured out how to do it in 4.
I mean,
but I guess unless you include the I am safe, then you're like, holy cow.
Right. See, I feel like that's a little cheatery.
Yeah.
It should have
And
been
you gotta
like
have a sponsor
PAVE
somewhere
or
in there, but
PV or you know.
I know.
But that doesn't make that's not as
Ham
cool.
safe of you. I don't know.
Not as cool.
Whatever. Yeah. So I think a lot of it too is, and this is very similar to our previous podcast in the sense that what you're not looking for is necessarily ways to say no, but you're just looking for like, what's that right deal for me? What like, you know, because pilots, they want to fly. Like, we want to get up there. Like, that's the goal. And you can have hazards and you can have issues. It's just being aware of them and figuring out ways, how do I mitigate whatever this potential shortcoming is? Like, maybe you are in a small market or one that's not growing. Like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do to mitigate that? That's cool. Maybe it is an older building. Fine. Like, what kind of repair plan are you going to have in place to make sure that we account for the fact that it's an older building? Like, those things are okay.
Yeah.
It's just like part of this process is to just be walking in eyes wide open. Sure. And ideally, the sponsor's done some of this, but you as a passive investor, you also want to have those things. And again, I think it's really important to remember, like, man, you're the pilot in command. Like, you're the one making this decision to invest or not invest. And if you want help doing that, I have an awesome guide. It's 196 questions that actually cover 8 different areas, including, like, these 4 are kind of all embedded in it, that talk about all sorts of things, like including the sponsor and the property manager and the deal itself and the construction plan and financing and paperwork and all this stuff. It's really good. It's comprehensive. And I go through and actually highlight, like, the 42 that you really should ask. Because I think they're really important. And so you can check that out at furlo.com. It's called Good Deals Only. That's the goal, is to invest only in good deals. And so, yeah, and if you want to learn more about us and our investment thesis, you can totally do it. And so hopefully that was helpful and fun. I'm excited. Yeah. Because the weather's nice, which means I can fly and I can do it all legally.
It makes me want to go fly something.
It's really good. Dude, right? Yeah, it is fun. No, I'm going to get out and take a bunch of photos for different properties, which will be fun.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, again, everyone, thanks for listening. Have a great day.